One of the things we get asked a lot is, how can I be more consistent? A great place to start with consistency is a great grip. Rob, show us how you would start to build your grip.
Okay, well, your consistency comes from having a recent relationship with the club face and being aware of its position in the setup, in the grip and the swing, so you can bring the club face back to impact consistently within small tolerances, because it only takes a couple of degrees to hit wild shots. So I think perfecting your grip based around a perfectly square club face is a must, right? And quite often you'll see people being really careful with their grips, but they're doing it to start with around a misaligned club face, and then you get down to the ball and they're like, well, that's maybe better now, and that's counterproductive, because the grip has to be based around a square face.
So the benefits of having the aligned max means that you can put your hands in the same position every time.
Yeah, the Align Max gives you the awareness of the square club face without really having to look at it too much. Obviously it's on the underside of the club, so you're building your grip, being careful about your hand placement on the top, being assured that you can feel some reference to the club face, and then when you bring it down to the ball, you've automatically got the club face square. It's much easier to do it with the raised ridge on the back of the grip here than it is on a round grip. It takes much more practice on a round grip. Now, I would recommend you build your grip not over the ball, so you wouldn't be fidgeting around trying to get this correct while you're in your setup position. It needs to be done when you're taking the club out the bag, and I like to build my grip up in this position where I've got the club raised up, and it kind of helps sit the grip into the fingers of your left hand first. You don't want it through the palms, because then you don't have the range of motion that you need during a swing. So building it like that while you're looking at the grip and looking at your hands, the hand placement from the top is more important than the bit underneath. So people get really, I think, too into whether you're interlocking, overlapping or baseball, right? And I don't think that really makes much difference, right? And when you look at this part first and you're trying to interlock or overlap, you end up putting the club too much in the palms, and people then sort of falsely just fold the hand over the top part, and they're not in the right position then, and they've just focused too much on this part, and I think that's the last bit to concern yourself with. It should be getting the left hand in the fingers, getting the back of the hand turned over so that your thumb is coming back in towards the center a tiny little bit. This position here where your thumb and the knuckle is quite tight, I use that as a reference all the time, that there's a connection between those two, like they're being pinched together. That gives you a bit of support at the top. And then the right hand must come in this way. So when you're doing that, your right hand comes in and covers the left thumb completely. And you'll see how close my right hand is to this seam on the glove, and I can't see my left thumb at all. Right? So from this position, I can barely see my fingertips of my right hand, and I can't see the left thumb at all.
But also the beauty of this, with that raised ridge, all the time you're doing that and building your grip and feeling that raised ridge in your fingers, you just know, you've got the confidence to know that face angle is square.
Yeah, I'm feeling the club face while I'm doing that. It's there as the reference. So I haven't then got to look at the club face and try and align that. That is my square reference point, and the grip has to be built around a square club face.
Yeah.
That's the whole point of it being precise, so that it comes back to impact as close as we possibly can. And if you've got some sort of error in the club face alignment while you're building your grip, and then you're trying to twist, which a lot of people do, you've got the potential for more error in the club face.
That can be a disaster, because then in your golf swing you're making compensations to try and find square.
Yeah, you've either got to try and turn it hard to square it up, or you've got to
hold it,
twist it to keep it open. So neither are very good for the swing. So building the grip away from the ball is essential. Practicing it at home is really important, or every time you get the club out of get your clubs out of the bag. Perfect putting the hands on correctly, so that then when you come into the shot, the grip's already done. Right? You're having a waggle and you're building your stance, and you've got the other elements of the address position to consider yourself with, but the grip isn't one of them. It shouldn't be, right, is that right now? Where do my knuckles need to be? It should be already done.
Yeah, so I always say, if you want more consistency, get your pre-shot routine consistent.
Yeah,
Certainly get your grip consistent. The Align Max really helps that.
yeah.
Like massively helps
Yeah.
that. And then you're on a good path to being a consistent golfer.
Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something.
For more videos like this, head to the Golf Pride channels.